On Location is brought to you by Clockworks. Clockworks, it's your ride, you decide.
Why do you come every year?
Because I love Cycle Source and I love Daytona, I love motorcycles, and this is a place to come see it.
New Smyrna Speedway for Sons of Speed 2025. This is their 8th season this year. We're going to be following a couple of the riders that have been here from day one. Shelly Rossmeyer, Dan Toast, Toast Performance. It's going to be a great day of racing. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. Started racing with Billy Lane back when he came up with this whole concept in about 2015. In 2017 is when we raced for the first time. When Billy Lane asked me if I wanted to participate in this and told me there weren't any brakes on the motorcycles, I was like, you know what? I think I need to try this out because I've ridden so many different types of motorcycles, but it was going to be a challenge personally for me to try to learn obviously how to run these bikes, let alone race them. So it was just a personal quest that I just wanted to give a shot. Since I've been a part of Sons of Speed from the beginning, I've watched so much over the last several years. And right now I can tell you, based off of my experience in Biketoberfest and now Bike Week, these guys are just doing it right. It just took a little while to get there. But then again, that's what the Outlaw Racing, kind of vibe is who cares? Let's just run with it. But you don't want anyone to get hurt. You just want to make sure everyone's running safe. And I feel like they're just doing such a stand-up job. Andy stepping in to basically take over kind of the whole way the events run is amazing. It lets Billy do what he wants to do, and it's really awesome. They've become a lot of great media and sponsors and support over the years. I keep coming back to Sons of Speed every year because of these guys, and these guys, my crew. They work so hard to make sure that these bikes are safe and ready to run, and I just thank the people. That's what I do it for. And that. My new bike this year is a 1942 WLR. It was just built like in 5 days before we are racing right now. And it's a stock 45 class. So I've been racing the early 61 class from day one, and now I have two bikes. Well, you've got early 61, which would be the 61 cubic inch, is 1,000 cc, and the 45s, which would be 45 cubic inch, is 750 cc. But neither of them have brakes, and so these are like replica. You can't really get the old parts like Billy's bike that Billy built this. And that was one of his first chunks of bikes. And then this was built by Old Soul Custom, Nathan Grubb. He got all the parts inspected out in pieces. And then Chuck, my guy, is who assembled it. My advice for anyone who would look into coming to Sons of Speed is to definitely come out and watch and be a part of all of this to see if it's just, if it just ticks. And if so, get yourself a team that is gonna build you an amazing bike that runs.
How you doing? I'm Dan Toes from Toes Performance. I'm here at Sons of Speed, running 2 motorcycles this time for Stevenson Toes race team. Normally Joey Orsini rides the 45, the Hot 45, and I run the stock 61. Today I have the privilege of trying to fill some big shoes and run Joey Orsini's bike. Yeah, I was one of the original racers with Sons of Speed. I think from the second season on, I haven't maybe missed one race. So I've watched this sport grow and the camaraderie, and it's really exciting. The bikes are getting faster, the riders are getting better, getting more competitive, and still staying friendly with everybody. It's really good stuff. Stock 61, I've won my class 2 times. I would say the difference between the 61 and the 45, the 45s are definitely more modern. They handle much better. They're much more confidence inspiring. The 61s are sketchy as hell. So to ride that first is probably the right thing, because if I rode this, I would never get on that after riding it.
Steve Broyles, Detroit, Michigan. I'm the crew chief leader for this. Head mechanic. Yeah, that was I think it was in 17. We started down to Billy's shop and helped him build some of the first race bikes for the Sons of Speed. It was a great time. It was 5 days, 24 hours a day. It was phenomenal. I'll never get that back. With a lot of great legends in that room, trust me. It all turned out good, and I've watched this escalate into what it is today, which is a very nice race. I'll tell you what, if you go up and down the pit here, there's a lot of experienced riders, a lot of new riders that have been coming in. This is really growing exponentially into one of the biggest vintage races that are out there right now. Everybody's really bringing their game. I built a motor in Wayne at my shop, and then I took it out to Connecticut and we put it in the chassis. We removed the transmission this year. We lost 55 pounds taking the transmission out and the clutch out of it. So, I mean, this is direct drive. You know, that's it. Clutch out and you're on, that's it. There's no shifting gears, no nothing, you know. The ratio is where it needs to be. Wide ass open, that's right. Full throttle, no brakes.
I'm Martin van der Plas. I'm from the Netherlands. I've got a 1924 Harley FE engine. I've got my frame is built by Billy Lane. The handlebars are built by Billy Lane. I got a Repo pea-shooter tank. I've got a 1911 front fork. I'm running cleanser tires with Firestone 28 by 2¼ tires. A lot of stuff handmade. Yeah, the engine is completely rebuilt last year. So I run it in Germany on the velodromes, the 49 banked, there 49 banked velodromes, 333 meters. So I run it in there, and it was perfect, and there was the time to ship it over after so many years. We come here from the first one on. We always volunteered sometimes twice a year. Me and my wife, and yeah, they always said, if your bike is ready and it is running, you have to bring it over. So this was the time. It's 101 years old, the engine, so we needed to get back to the Americas. The feeling was okay. The bike was doing good, handled really good. So it was just a matter of my engine was not running perfect, because in Germany I can't go full throttle because the track is so small. So Billy Lane took it out yesterday on the track, and he just fiddled with the high needle, and he had it right. I mean, after that I won at least 50 miles, I think, in speed. So then, yeah, so I had a few practice yesterday, and then I felt okay. This morning went out again. We had some problems because the inlet of the push rod was really loose, so we took together with Billy, we took the whole side apart because we thought that the cam follower was broke because they break a lot, the walls. But that was okay, and in the end of the story, the pin in there was too hard, so it grind into the cam follower. He said just adjust it every time you go and see how it goes. So, and after that we just went on again, on time. So yeah, and yeah, just to race with they always talk about it as a family, and it is a family. I mean, even when you come from the Netherlands, it's always a warm bath to come into, and it's amazing. It's amazing to take it out after so many years building it and get after the first heat. Yeah, that's something special. That's really, really special. Flying Dutchman Racing Team! Yay!
So that wraps up Sons of Speed 2025 at New Smyrna Speedway. What an action-packed day it was, highs and lows and everything in between. We saw father and son team Nick Hunter and senior and junior battle it out, father-son rivalry right on the track and right down to the wire at the last race of the day, Hot 45. Nick Jr. took the checkered flag from his dad. It was an incredible race. Mike Lang, a poet on the track as always, won with a mile between him and his opponents. He is a joy to watch. Shelly Rossmeyer, who's been here since day one, she had a tough day today, but that's not going to stop her from coming back in fall 2025. We talked to the Flying Dutchman. He came all the way from the Netherlands to race. He's been volunteering at Sons of Speed for the past 4 years. He's been a flagman in turn 4, but this year he took to the track and had an amazing adventure. Man, he was all smiles at the end of the day. Stay tuned for our continuing coverage of Daytona Bike Week 2025.
It is an absolutely incredible gathering of incredible bikes and builders who build them. It's deeply inspirational for me.
Today, Daytona Bike Week, day 2, 3, I'm not quite sure, but I am at the beautiful Broken Spoke Saloon for Warren Lane's True Grit Antique Motorcycle Gathering and Chopper Roundup, I guess you want to call it. It's a show, but not really a show. There's no classes, but Warren, if you know him, Atomic Metalsmith, does an amazing job and has a rich history in antique motorcycles. So in a little while here, he'll go around these incredible motorcycles and pick his favorites. I think we're going to actually pick one of our favorites and give an award. So stay tuned. We're going to be bringing you some killer bikes from Broken Spoke Saloon, Daytona 2025.
Warren fucking Lane.
I'm Eileen.
This is Eileen Lane, and this is our little baby Warren. And we're here at the Broken Spoke for the True Grit Motorcycle Show. And there's antique motorcycles and choppers everywhere.
We want to thank you guys for always coming out and supporting us. It's a family-friendly show.
And Chris and Heather always, of course, wouldn't have it without you guys. It's all these people that make it happen. Without them, it wouldn't be nothing. You know, it's like everybody likes each other and they're interested in the motorcycles. And I just like old motorcycles and choppers. And I tell people to bring them and they come. And it's awesome.
And the turnout was amazing this year. We're so like happy about it. We expected it to be good because we were seeing all the interactions online and everything about it, and everybody commenting like it's the best show. We look forward to it every year. So we're like really grateful for it.
Yeah, it's bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for all your help and support.
Listen, I usually get into town, I do Sons of Speed, and I leave. And a few years ago, I came to Warren's show, so I know I don't leave till after True Grit. I'm telling you, folks, if y'all missing this, the choppers, the knuckleheads, the panheads, this is the place everybody should have been right here. Warren knows what he's doing. Right on.
So hey, we just wrapped up Warren Lane's True Grit 2025 at the Broken Spoke Saloon. Epic show. You saw some of the characters from the day. Now we're taking the long way home and riding the wildlife loop.
Daytona Bike Week 2025 is Monday. Oddly enough, we don't have a show to do today. We don't have any appointments. We got nothing. So we're gonna do something novel for novice, unusual.
Are you kidding?
I don't know. Words are hard. Words are hard. We are going for a motorcycle ride.
We're going riding.
Yeah, you don't want me to do that. He can do that. I can't do that. So we're going riding. I think we're heading up on maybe to St. Augustine. I've never been there. I don't know, but we're going riding at a motorcycle rally.
Oh my God.
Did you know that people do that at these things?
I see it. It happens.
So we're going to try it, see if we like it. I don't know. So let's go.
Hey, cat, goddamn turkey.
Today is a very special day. It is the Cycle Source Magazine Custom Ride-In Bike Show. We've been doing this for, man, damn near 20 years maybe. I don't know, I've lost count, but very special day for us. We love seeing all the custom motorcycles. We have awards in 27, 28 classes. We are equal opportunity motorcycle lovers at Cycle Source Magazine, and you will see that today between the Pans, Knuckles, Shovels, FXRs, Dynas, Baggers, you name it, it's here, gonna be here on the lot if it's not already. So stay tuned, it's gonna be a killer show.
Man, a Cycle Source Bike Show, what an honor for all these years of doing this show and being part of Daytona. When we started, this is going to be hard to believe, but this entire place was just dirt. I mean, when you look at it now, this is the premier place for a bike show in Daytona. And to think that through the grace of Jay Allen, we've been here since the very beginning.
Cycle Source Show is going on right now here at the Broken Spoke. We've got a lot of bikes here. We've got a lot of cool people here. And we just ride in and we'll judge it and see if it's good and good. And Cycle Source is the magazine that you want to read to keep up with everyday life.
Someone said there's going to be a Moonshiner Chuck award here.
I heard that rumor just minutes ago.
Custom Bike Show is over. What a killer day. We had over 90 custom, eclectic, perfect motorcycles on this lot at the Broken Spoke for Daytona 2025. Couldn't have asked for a better selection. We had bobbers, choppers, flatheads, knuckleheads. We had some dating back to 1914 on this lot today at the Broken Spoke Saloon. Thank you to everybody that came out. Hope to see you on the road. I am at Toast Performance in Daytona Beach, Florida. Tonight is the Toast Cycle Source lot party, block party.
Tacos and burnouts.
Tacos and burnouts. We're keeping it low key this year. Our goal is only 2 visits from the police instead of a lot more. If we're good, if we behave ourselves, we might get a permit next year. So everybody's gonna be on their best behavior. I'm just saying. But it's a great night for everybody to just kind of cut loose, hang out, super low key. We've got food, pizzas, couple beers, and killer motorcycles. Daytona Beach 2025. Okay, guys, tacos and burnout off the hook. The police came a few times. They shut it down. Their exact quote was, if you get caught doing a burnout, you will go to jail. Pizza, burnouts, all the good things tonight. Lots of shenanigans. It's going to be a good one. Stay tuned for the rest of Daytona Bike Week 2025. Okay, it's Wednesday, Daytona Bike Week 2025. I am here again at the legendary Broken Spoke Saloon in Ormond Beach, Florida. If you did not know, every Wednesday is Perowitz Paint Show Day. If you want to see some of the best custom motorcycle paint, maybe in the world, it's here today at the Broken Spoke. So hang tight, we're going to show you what's on the lot. Okay, guys, so that wraps up the Perowitz Paint Show 2025 at Daytona Bike Week. Beautiful Broken Spoke Saloon. As you saw, some of the best paint in the country was under that roof today. It was incredible, and we hope you dig it. Stay tuned for Chopper Time.
All right, so Heather's been bringing you guys all of the stuff from Daytona. You know, here's
doing all the work.
Here's Heather the bobblehead. You do that though, right? But she's, including today, she's been everywhere. And Wednesday is the Perowitz Paint Show. But I'm gonna bring you stuff from the other place.
The other
place.
I like the name of that.
Right?
The other place.
So this is the this is Shovelhead night at the other place, and man.
Take one more.
No, we have some Shovelheads. Don't be greedy. We have Shovelheads.
We have one. One.
But this is it's a great collection of Shovelhead motorcycles and a bunch of other bikes, man. Some really great people. That
Are you going to show them your favorites?
I am. I'm going to show you right now.
I could buy brand new ones for $1,200 complete. Everything. Carburetor and all.
Mr. Davis, he knows everything.
So Jerry Dyer started Shovelhead Coalition 2 years ago. He died last year. We come here every Wednesday just to keep it going for him. He's pretty much lived and died Shovelheads. A lot of people call him Mr. Shovelhead.
Jason, look, I run into a friend here. Travis just said that's too pretty for me.
My motorcycle, you know, I knew everybody was going to be bringing something big to this, but I thought this was an opportunity to tell the story about the beginning of custom motorcycles. You know, and that started with post-war America when young GIs were coming back from the war and they were grabbing their dad or their grandpap's motorcycle and they wanted to experience the same thing that they did with the bikes that they were experienced in the European theater. And those were the BSAs and Nortons and Triumphs that were light and fast. So they took these big American motorcycles and started to cut them down. They didn't bob them, they didn't chop them, they were cut down. So what we did here, as much as this looks like a stock motorcycle, we took a whole bunch of chopped up, molested motorcycle pieces from a 1949, and we slowly worked that thing back to an original 1949 so that we could lightly modify it and show what the beginning of the custom motorcycle was. And that's the story right here. S&S gives us a beautiful platform for this because everything is solid. You're not going to have to, like when we start with stock panheads that we're going to build, you have to address every thread hole on the cases when you start. I started with a motor that I know is going to be bulletproof. I'm going to get to ride this. I'm going to get to have fun with it. So all I had to worry about was telling my story of this design of motorcycle. And that was, you know, very lightly we went to the cases with a scaler, made it look a little more vintage, you know, on some of the shiny spots, got rid of that, and it fit right into our period correct cut down. So thank you guys, thanks. Very honored to be part of this.
I have a picture in my shop. You could see a painting and a black and white photo of my dad. He had a 1961 Panhead, which is the only year they made this stripe. That bike, he rode the Surges in 1966 is where that photo's from, 1 month before I was born. Just can imagine how happy my mom probably was, but thank God for my dad, I'm a motorcyclist, right? And the weird thing about it was the bike would have been hi-fi reds with white stripes. My dad ordered the reverse version, which was a treat. So it was white, birch white with red stripes. My dad's bike was mildly stock, just like his trucks, right? He'd have cool wheels on them and maybe a pinstripe. I was always the opposite way. So Dad, God bless you, but I couldn't ride it stock. The team at Clockworks did an incredible job. Huge shout out to Danny, Ryan, and Shelton, because without them, this wouldn't have happened. And without Chris coaching me on these old bikes, because I'm pretty much a new bike guy. I'm honored to own this bike. It's got modern little touches like the HPI muffler that we put on, the Baker 6-speed. It's got the last ever Baker 5/4 drivetrain. The S&S motor is beautiful. This one's even a little more beautiful. We took it all apart, polished it. We're running a Morris mag. And of course, you know, it's timeless. It's S&S timeless. But you could take a 61 frame and build this full-blown custom because they brought vintage series motors back to life. Now it's a 93-inch. Now I can go 80 miles an hour, and God bless 80 miles an hour because I just got busted going 92 to 70. So I'm sorry. I'm the reason we're late. My fault.
This is called a tanker frame by Bonnie Truitt because the top bone is the gas tank. And if you could have seen this when I got out of a garage in Ohio, It had more squirrels living inside the gas tank because it was open. We had to cut it all apart, sandblast the inside of the gas tank and start over. We cut about 50 years of bad welding and bad decisions off the frame because it's been a drag bike forever and people just kept adding stuff. Built an aluminum tail section. Guy, Mean City Cycles, made in North Carolina, where I'm from, did the seat for me. It unsnaps like old school. You can get at the battery and all that stuff underneath. But it was just a really cool build, and the timeline was tough. I tried to use no zip ties, try to keep it old school. They didn't have zip ties back then. But it's a fun bike. I can't wait to get it back. We're gonna fire it down the drag strip, you know, because that's what it's intended to do. But I appreciate everybody coming out and support this whole thing. They're gonna go on tour. They're gonna be at Born Free. They're gonna be at Donnie Smith show. We're gonna get around the country and show the bikes off. It's gonna be a good time. Really appreciate the opportunity.
My name is Xavier Muriel. I have a company based out of Austin, Texas called Providence Cycle Works. It's an honor and a privilege to be lined up here under this tent with these guys. Dudes that I've known from the beginning of my rock and roll, the ending of my rock and roll touring career to jumping into the motorcycle industry, which a lot of people said I was fucking crazy for. So to even just be here at this moment is such a blessing, and I'm truly humbled and grateful. When this came about, I had already, the minute they asked me, I wanted to build something that was very reminiscent of the mid-2000s Pro Street models that guys like Donnie Smith, Don Hotop were building, because those bikes I thought were just absolutely exquisite. And when Mike and I were the Shovelhead guys, I had a really long battle trying to figure out whether I was going to build a chopper, which, you know, I've done, but I had this voice frame, and my buddy Jason Hallman and I were talking, and a couple other people are like, man, how rad would it be to build a Pro Street with a Shovelhead, especially a 93 inch. I've had one of these before, and they're exquisite motors. And the greatest thing about this one was the original one, you couldn't disassemble the motor. It had to come out of the box and straight into the bike. So when the first question was asked, can we do what we want? And the answer was yes. It's like, cool, rip that motherfucker apart and let's polish it. And that pretty much started everything. So a polished motor. I used an FL transmission, a dresser transmission underneath to kind of make it clean so I could have negative space, which is something I've been taught many times. Did all of the fabrication on it, the foot controls, the actual battery box that is not an oil tank. It just houses all the electrics. It has my signature Providence Cycle Works swing arm, but a wide tire version, which is now available. And did the pipes, the tank, the rear fender, my bars, my risers. But the thing that was cool about it was during the process, which everybody here can agree was so tight. It was like, is this even possible? So the thread that we all had going with each other, just back and forth, like, man, that's bitchin', that's cool. It was an empowering situation, which I've never had, because like everybody knows, everybody's always trying to fucking outdo each other and be like this and that, and it was not that at all. Everybody was in a very camaraderie, like, yeah, man, what's up, and sharing pictures. So it was like 6 giddy kids, just you know, and it was awesome. So that experience alone was phenomenal. And watching everybody else's bikes come along as well as this one, and realizing, can I do this? Can I pull this off? You know, because when you give stuff out to people, the paintwork, the chrome, the polishing, the upholstery, it's in their hands. It's no longer in my hands. Yeah, I've made the stuff, but now, man, please don't screw me on this, because this is a big deal for all of us, you know. Jace from Fast Life did the paint. Kurt from Bare Bones has done my upholstery since 2017. The chroming was done by Gary Dubois at Dubois Plating. Dougie from Doug's Polishing did all of the polishing. And it would not be possible. Again, Jason Hallman, my buddy, was like kind enough to let me bring it to his shop and show me things that I wasn't familiar with. And again, that's the part of why we do this. No man is an island, and anybody who says that's a fucking liar, you know? So there's great aspects about having this type of situation that, as a musician on a tour bus, I was watching the original one with Paul Cox, Kano, Kevin Alsop, Big Mike's Choppers, and going, wow, I'm doing this now with Mike, my buddy that I've known for a while, and Chris that I've known forever, and Brian, you know, so that whole thing is worth it. There's no, you can't place a value on that. The bikes are cool, that's awesome. But like Mr. Clock always says, you know, relationships are everything. And that's what this was. It was literally, okay, everybody put their bullshit aside. We all were just empowering each other. And here they are, all 6 of them. You know, how we pulled that off, I have no idea, but we did it. You know, so thank you very much.
I am at the legendary Willie's Tropical Tattoo for the greatest chopper show on earth, Chopper Time.
told me I had to shave them.
I got some.
Okay, Tropical Tattoo Chopper Time 2025 has come to a close. It was insane, off the hook. 130 motorcycles filled this lot. Standing room only. You had to bob, weave, shuffle sideways. You had to do the whole 9 yards just to get through. It was an amazing day. What I didn't tell you before is every penny today goes to raise money for the Veteran Support Fund. Thanks, Willie at Tropical Tattoo, for putting this amazing show together. And thank you for letting us be a part of it. Daytona 2025, there's more to come. Friday, the last official day of Daytona Bike Week. Yeah, there's Saturday, but today's when all the good stuff happens. Finale of Daytona Bike Week 2025 and the Dennis Kirk Garage Build Bike Show.
He and I go way back to my beginning years in Laconia, and don't ask me what year that was because it was decades ago. But all the years we've known each other, we've never ridden together. And he reminded me of that yesterday, and so he arranged it. I didn't do anything. We got L.A. Robinson up on stage. People are grooving to the music. He brings up a 47 flathead and a 65 panhead so we could go ride together. What's better than that? That's the kind of people I've been working for the last 37 years.
And I'm glad to be part of it.
Lucky name, my brother.
Amen. I'll start it for you if you want to join us.
We're going to start it for me.
There's a 1976, I call it a Coney Island Special. And I did that because when I was growing up in New Jersey, the clubs used to come over from New York City and they had all these bikes dressed up like in the 60s and the 70s. So I remember that as a kid. When I was little, I said, when I get older, I want to decorate the bike like they did old school.
I found this motor and transmission sort of abandoned in a Pro Street sort of style of Softail in a garage, and bought it from the family of the deceased person that owned that chopper.
So that's what I did. And it takes years and years to find these parts. You're not going to find them anywhere. Everything's homemade.
She's a blast to ride. She's got way more power than I ever expected. Just down the street here in front of the Beaver Bar, I snapped at the throttle and bunny hopped it in front of the crowd sitting out front.
Something about this motorcycle makes me want to build one like it. And that's some shit. I've built a lot of motorcycles, man. This is a really, really great job. Congratulations to you. It's extraordinary. I love this bike. Love it. Best chopper of the day here. Before you go away, so you got your $100, your hat, your best chopper award. How about we give this guy best of show too? Almost no arguing with that. Like I said, my favorite bike at Daytona, everybody's favorite bike here today.
It was an incredible day. 80 some odd killer bikes built in the home garage. We celebrated every garage builder today. Outstanding show. We just closed out Daytona Bike Week. It's over for us. We're done, we're out. Thanks for checking out Daytona Bike Week 2025.
custom bike, brought it home, pulled the engine, transmission, and rear brake, and then started from scratch with a new frame and everything for Paco. These tanks are actually tankful prizes from the smokeout this last year that a friend of mine won in the raffle and called me and said, dude, these are plumbed. They're not just shells. You could run these. And so I got them from him and made a subframe that goes under them to hold the tank up off the frame and make them look right. And we spent all week getting her dialed in right, and she's running like a champ now, rolling down the road.
So this goes against her too much time going to the ride, like you're actually riding?
I think we're there now. You know, I'd be willing to bet that we put close to 100 miles on it since we got it dialed in. My back is proof. But she's a blast to ride. She's got way more power than I ever expected. Just down the street here in front of the Beaver Bar, I snapped at the throttle and bunny hopped it in front of the crowd sitting out front, and it was fun. It's a lot of fun to ride.
This is your second chopper.
This is the second frame. I pretty much consider this is the second version of this because the whole thing came down since smokeout pretty much and started over with the tanks and stuff. But yeah, almost like third build, second bike. Well, I was graciously invited to be a builder at the Smokeout in 2024 and was really excited and said, let's do this. So I came up with a plan. I ran a Paco frame on my last sporty chop that I built and loved it. But I wanted something a little more traditional shape frame, 6-over front end, extended rockers. This is the look that I really wanted to go for. And so we started over again, took it to Smokeout. I wasn't happy with the way it looked just because of, you know, how things can end up. So when I got home from Smokeout, we started over again, especially actually when these tanks came available and that was going to happen. That's when I was like, well, let's just start over again and do this right. So she looks good now and runs good.
So you do a lot of stuff in your garage, so you and those bikes.
Yeah, I've got 7 bikes. I love choppers and stuff, but I also like the new stuff. I think you don't have to like just one thing. You can like new bikes and old bikes and choppers and performance bikes and all this other stuff. So I've got a couple modern bikes, a new Street Glide that's fun to mess with, and do my own cam jobs and M8s and stuff like that. But this is just as awesome as it is awful sometimes. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, let me tell you about my life for the last. Right on. Tell me a little bit about your shop.
So I just work from home. I don't really have a shop. During the pandemic, I started telling stories on YouTube for my own boredom about Sturgis. My dad first took me to Sturgis in 1990 when I was too young to go to Sturgis, and we stayed at Glencoe, and I saw things that changed me forever. And I've been to Sturgis, not every year since, but a lot. And it's just been fun to grow up in this culture. I think bikers are some of the finest people on earth. They're the ones that you need to have close to you. And I love the garage build culture. I love the idea of working on your own machine and building something out of scratch. It's important, and it has to be protected. You know, we have to be supportive of each other and not tear each other down when they try to do something. So it's cool. It's exceptionally cool. I'm proud of this machine. It's not like I named it the Beautiful Loser because I don't think that it's, besides that being a great song, I don't think that it's this amazing show winner, but I love it. That's all that matters. So a fun story, though, about Smokeout is everyone thinks my bike is running really lean with the blue pipes. The reality is we had too much fun at Smokeout and banged the rev limiter for about 30 seconds, and those were glowing orange when I shut the bike off. And that blued them, and I was like, I think they look kind of cool, and there's a good story.
I think there's video of the glow.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Law enforcement wanted to ask questions. It was fine. It was totally fine. They were cool about it.
Mistakes were made.
Or choices, not mistakes necessarily, but it was fun. So I'm proud of that bluing.
Okay, so now we're going to talk square business about the new CBO. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
This isn't the place.
Let's do it. I'm ready to die on that hill.
Hey, I got a couple guys that are getting together on our next shop talk. If you want to be part of it,
Sure.
I'll